Well, hello there, guys, and welcome to All Quiet in the Trenches, a World War I based squad game, or story game. You guys decide and let me know in the comments down below. We're going to jump in and we are going to try to do an episodic series here of All Quiet in the Trenches and just see how far we can get. Now, I don't actually need the tutorial. I've played the game before. I know I'm going to regret this later, but we're going to go ahead and just get started with a brand new game, guys. So here we go. All Quiet in the Trenches has begun. We're going to be leading our World War I German squad here and see just how far we can get them. You can see beautiful trench works here, and we're going to have to deal with so many things in this game, not just the combat, but also the rations, the way the officer sees us and our men, and a bunch of other things too. So here we go, guys. Monday, the 1st of March. I still hardly believe that a few days ago back home, I had been appointed as an Unteroffizier in charge of this handful of men. And here they were, sneaking through the trenches behind me, not 100 meters from the enemy positions with heavy packs and dwindling strength. And as you can see, guys, we've got Franz Wellinger, we've got Alfred Lotze, Wolfgang Kohn, Jean-Pierre Donnet, that's a very French name for a German guy, and Lieutenant von Karlsbruck. So the lieutenant is the one we kind of are going to have to impress, although at the same time, we've got to keep our men alive too. So as you can see here, you seem to have taken your time. Surely you're fit enough to start work right away. And here's the thing, I want to make sure that we keep the lieutenant happy. At the same time, I want to keep our men happy, and it's kind of a tough position. Do we go like the strong Prussian follow all orders route, or do we go the help your men route? Well, we're going to have to decide. I'm going to say yes, Herr Leutnant, because we want to start off on a good foot, and we want to make sure that we can do the job here. So, some of my men looked worried, but Lieutenant von Karlsbruck nodded in satisfaction. My adjutant will show you to your sleeping quarters. Afterwards, report to me for today's duties. And of course, once we get into the today's duties thing, you're going to see the rations and all of that. So we are here in reserve currently. I want to see what Donner is concerned about. We only have the rations left that we took with us. Where are we supposed to get something to eat around here? Yeah, that's a good point. Sorry about that, Donner, but unfortunately I can't deal with it right now. Over here you can see the average prestige, and you can see the good mood. This is, of course, in regards to the officer, and this is in regards to our men. And we want to keep this all pretty strong if we can. Someone wants to talk to me. You're just in time. I've assigned your group to Night Watch. Assign a few men to it. I suggest you send the rest to Supply Depot. There you will get the provisions for the next few days. But from now on, managing your group's food supply will be your responsibility alone. Okay, understood. And as you can see, we've got all these men in reserve. But if you look at the blue bars there, some of them are, of course, going to be, a bit tired. They're not really going to want to do this, whereas others are going to be more than willing to go ahead and do the job. And each man is, of course, going to have his different strengths and weaknesses. As you can see here, they've each got their own personality. So we can see that Jean-Pierre Donner, he is somewhat patriotic, pardon me. He's also motivated. He's very courageous, and his relation is respectful. Kohn, let's take a look. His personality, very tolerant, completely by the book. He likes structure, so he's going to respect what we do in terms of trusting the lieutenant. He's also very courageous, physically fit, and optimistic. But again, he's pretty tired, and I'm not sure I want to send a guy that's tired, to do a night watch. Then again, every single one of the guys right now are pretty tired. So let's send Lotze over here to fetch rations, and we're going to send Donner and Kohn over here for Night Watch. Now, we are going to play this hardcore mode, so if anything happens, it happens, and it is what it is. Let's proceed and see how far this takes us. Okay, another day successfully accomplished, guys, and we haven't even gotten into a trench battle yet. We have rations for a day removed, and we are down to very, very low rations. Another communication trench collapsed. Unteroffizier, gather your shovels and men. You have to rebuild it as soon as possible. Man, that's going to be another huge bit of work for our men. And as you can see, the delay here is going to have consequences. So we want to get this done. There is a risk of injury, and it's going to make our men very tired. But they're already quite exhausted. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to assign Dunner and Kohn here because out of all the men, I think they are in the best physical shape. And then let's take a look here. Wellinger, he's physically fit. What about Lotze? He's not physically fit. He is trained in shooting, so Lotze is going to be our sharpshooter going forward here. So I'm going to take Wellinger, and I'm going to have him maintain the trenches. Here we go, guys. Another day has passed. Some of my men looked worried, but Lieutenant von Cosbrook nodded in satisfaction. My adjutant will show you to your sleeping quarters. Afterwards, report to me for today's duties. A few hours ago, the roar of artillery had begun. At first, it was quiet as the rumble of thunder in the distance, but recently it had become steadily louder and more threatening. Suddenly, there was a thud not 10 meters from the hiding spot where my men were huddled. An artillery shell shredded the dugout of our neighboring troop. Pieces of wood and metal flew for meters, and smoke obscured the view. The noise was deafening for a few seconds, then died away as quickly as it had come. An almost eerie, silent gasp of shock passed. Then my men and I jumped up, pushed aside broken beams, and searched for our buried comrades. We found two, for all help came too late. A third, however, we could still hear panting. My goodness, guys. Look at the madness of the trenches. He was lying with his upper body trapped under the fallen beams. His face was distorted with pain, and he was barely conscious. My men stood around him forlorn and looked over to me for help. Kohn said pleadingly, Herr Unteroffizier, we must try to help him. Together we lifted the beam from his chest and now only saw the full extent of the damage. His chest looked crushed and his hips strangely twisted. A long splinter protruded from his abdomen and his shirt was soaked in blood. Donner shook his head. He's beyond help. A mercy killing will save him and us both misery. Jeez, man. I feel like if this was later on in the war, I would go for the mercy kill, but we're just joining, and I feel like getting a stretcher, maybe we can still save this guy. So let's try. I ordered Kohn and Donner, and this is going to make Kohn and Donner tired. First, I wanted to get him out of his wreckage and then decide whether I would expose my men to the danger of carrying him to the military hospital. There, the nurses could determine whether and how to help him. Mein Gott. It's not looking good. It's not looking good, guys. All right, let's continue here. So we're going to have to assign two men to take the wounded soldier to the hospital. And again, I'm going to make it Kohn and Donner. They are just the best physically fit at the moment. The artillery must have destroyed one of our telephone lines. Instruct one of your men to carry this message to the command post immediately. It looks like the French are planning an attack, and we urgently need more men. Well, the lieutenant gave us an order. We have to carry it out. By the way, don't you love the artillery going on while we're doing the Let's Play? I just think it's so cool. So Wellinger is the most physically fit. He's going to have to deliver the message. We want Lotze here just in case we need to start firing off some shots towards the enemy. Herr Unteroffizier, the advanced emplacement has been destroyed by artillery. Now we're missing a well-covered position there, and the French have an easy way into our trenches. I'm afraid that if we try to rebuild the position at the front line, the French will do their best to prevent it. Yeah, probably, but do your job. You know what I mean, man? I mean, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Let's go to the next turn here, guys. Thursday, March the 4th, pardon me. And it looks like, two of our guys have changed to strain. And wouldn't you know, it's Wellinger and Lotze. Why is Lotze strained? Come on, he's been sitting around the entire time, for goodness sakes. He wasn't the one that was trapped under the rubble, was he? All right, well, let's hole up in the bunker here, guys. And it looks like the wounded man we took to the field hospital, unfortunately, he died. We did what we could, the people in the field hospital too. I guess it was just too late for him. I'm glad we tried, but it's still saddening. And again, I think we did the right thing because trying really showed the men that we would be willing to do the same for them, even though, you know, the chances of that guy surviving were quite low. So let's go ahead and assign a task. I would rather stay in the shelter if the task can wait. Oh boy. Well, somebody's gonna have to repair that phone line. Let's do it. It's an order. And I hate to send Con for this, but the reason I'm doing it is Con is optimistic and he's also respectful. So this is a guy that is also by the book. He's very in support of following the orders. And of course, hold up in the bunker for the rest of the men. Con will be in reserve here. Let's proceed to the next day, Friday, the 5th of March. The silence between us was in sharp contrast to the constant droning outside. When after hours the firing suddenly stopped, a sigh of relief went through the ranks of some of the young soldiers. However, that was the moment when the veterans of the other troops tensed and began to load their rifles. A cacophony of whistles snapped us to our stupor as well. The French were attacking! With God for Kaiser and Vaterland! We're gonna go ahead and get into the fight, guys. I believe this will be our first trench battle. Let's go, and here we go to the next level. Hopefully a successful one. The enemy has superior numbers. We may soon have to retreat from the trenches. Thrown to Officer, you and your greenhorns are to collect and evacuate all the ammunition you find. If we lose this trench, at least we won't lose our equipment. Oh boy. Okay, guys, here we go. So we have to collect munitions and equipment if we can. And of course, we need to retreat as well. And I believe the retreat is going to be that way, maybe, maybe not. For now, we're going to have to stay put and keep firing. So for the search, I want to make sure not to send Lotse because he's a great shooter. Let's send Con and let's send Vellinger to search the hideout. And let's proceed. I'm hoping that their superior firepower here of our shooters is going to keep the enemy at bay. And there we go. It looks like we've managed to, and we have to continue to retreat that way. So let's see if we can do that. I'm going to have to fall back to make it happen, of course. I mean, do we want to retreat yet? I'm not sure. I think we might hold out. Apart from this grenade, I didn't find anything else. Okay, that's too bad. I'm going to continue to take cover. Vellinger did find a little bit of ammunition and aid supplies. Took everything I could find. Good job, Vellinger. That's all we could ask of you. And we're going to hold our position. We are not retreating until we get that order, although I'm not sure we can hold out here successfully. Okay, let's see. Should we go over here? Let's go over here. Hopefully this is the right move. I want to make sure it is. That's the collapsed trench. Let's do it. Oh, that was a very, very risky position. Okay, and we can actually throw a hand grenade at the French troop. I'm going to let Con do that. So let's let him go ahead and throw that hand grenade, and we'll continue to hold the position. I'm hit, but it doesn't hurt that much. Oh no, Con is hit. And actually, I wanted to make Lotse, I don't know why I made Con do it. I want to make Lotse throw the hand grenade because he's the marksman. I know throwing a hand grenade is not really a marksman task, but you know, I was trying to do something here. Here we go. Lotse. There we go. Nice. Looks like a direct hit. And so we've got general suppression fire going on right now. I'm going to keep suppressing them. Heads down. Artillery. Okay, not great. It looks like one of our buddies here, Con, is stuck in the other trench. That's not good. Con was almost shot and has taken cover elsewhere. Yeah, that's definitely not good. And this is not a position we can necessarily retreat to or advance to because the enemy troop is too close. So let's keep returning fire with general suppression. Con has returned to us, but the French are right there, man. They're right there. Soldiers, we are falling back. Retreat to the next defensive line. Well, we've got the okay to retreat, guys. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Let's go over this way. So let's retreat across the creek. Hopefully all the men can make it. I'm hit. Lotse and Con are hit now. I'm hit. All of our men are hit at this point. Every single one of them, except for, I believe, Bellinger. I've been saying his name wrong the entire time as Bellinger, is hit and wounded. So let's try and fall back and save the rest of this group, and hopefully they will live to fight another day. That old gag, huh? We're continuing to retreat across the creek here, and we can search this knapsack, although I'm not sure. Collecting ammunition and equipment, is it still important? I think it is. Let's take a look over here and see where the French are. It's a tough call, but I think continuing to retreat is going to be the correct approach here. Get these men safely out of here. Come on, boys. Let's get off the battlefield. All right, we can actually search these crates, and I feel like we're far enough back that it may not be such a bad idea. So I'm going to let Weilinger, because he's the only one not wounded here, search the crates and hopefully find some additional items. You can see a lot of the Germans are right there, and they are also retreating. We don't want to be the last ones off the field, right? That wouldn't be great. Didn't find any ammunition, but I did find some bandages. Okay, that's going to help, considering all of our guys are hit. I think that's definitely going to help. And let us continue to retreat across the creek, hopefully saving the lives of our men entirely. Okay, fire general suppression. We're going to keep that going, and we also are going to search this corpse, a French corpse, mind you. So it's been here a while. Might be a little bit stinky, and not because of the brie. My wound has gotten worse. Oh, geez, that's not good. Let us escape quickly. I don't know how much longer I can hold out. That is bad, bad news, man. Unfortunately, he is in definite trouble, but we gotta keep on fighting, man. I've got to search that corpse, and eventually we will get off this battlefield, but not just yet. I was able to find some ammunition. Okay, Weilinger, great job, my friend. And let's get the rest of the men over here, or potentially, see, the French are right there, man. So if there's a way to retreat over here, that might be preferable, and indeed there is. That's what I'm going to do. It's safer than the other direction. I love when they're firing off shots there as they make their final retreat. Here we go. And unfortunately, we failed the task of collecting ammunition and equipment. That is going to piss off the Unteroffizier for sure. I'm hit, but it doesn't hurt too much. Only a scratch and hardly any blood. Okay, all right. Let's say not too badly hurt. But here we go. We have to go to the next level, and I believe we have survived the trenches. At least the first battle, guys. Not so bad. Okay, here we are, guys, once again, back at the HQ. I hope you guys enjoyed that episode / gameplay video. If we get over 1,000 views on this, we will absolutely continue this series onto episode 2. I'd love to do that and see just how far we can make it. Don't forget that you can always help me out by going to my Patreon and donating there. Especially with the way things have gotten on YouTube. This channel makes pennies in comparison to what it used to, and even before it wasn't making much. So any amount you can help by donating here directly on this page, becoming a member, or joining my Patreon, I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys. Take care, and I'll catch you on the next episode.